Hey everyone, how's it going? Hope you guys are doing really well. Welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. So today I have for you some British terraced houses, and my original plan for this was I was just playing The Sims and I really wanted to recreate the house that I live in at the moment in sim form, and then I decided I might as well do a video on it and make it British terraced houses. So where I actually live at the moment pretty much looks like this. I live in a row of terraced houses, which, for those of you that don't know, a terraced house is just houses that are like directly next to each other, pretty much joined in one long line, exactly like how this build is done. So none of them, the like end houses on a set of terraced houses are detached or semi-detached, sorry, but then all the houses in the middle just have like neighbours join either side. So that is pretty much where I live, like the feel of it, and I really wanted to do the floor plan to the house that I live in. I have done it as close as I possibly can. It is pretty damn accurate, to be honest. It's like 95% accurate. There's some kind of support walls and support pillars in the house that I couldn't necessarily recreate in The Sims because it was a bit hard or a bit kind of like confusing. I've tried my hardest, as you can see in the living room and the kitchen area, putting in kind of like the support poles that the sim has, but it really doesn't give it like the actual feel. But the floor plan of the house is pretty much 95% accurate. So all the houses are exactly the same in the layout theme, layout scheme, whatever, however you want to say it. I will say that the kind of like decor for the houses that I do in no way represents the decor of my house or anyone else's house that like lives around near me, because I am not about to go and knock on people's doors and be like, can I just have a look at what the inside of your house looks like so I can recreate it in The Sims. So I made them all up, but the floor plans of these houses are the exact same, as close as I can, like 95% the same as the house that I live in at the moment. This is a set of 4 terraced houses. Where I live is actually, I think, a set of 5 or 6 terraced houses, but 4 was the amount that I could fit on this lot that I chose in The Sims. It's a pretty expensive house to move into, obviously, because there's like 4 separate houses. It's like over 200,000 simoleons, so if you do want to put it down and play in it, you could totally have like different Sims live in all of these houses, or just one Sim buy the whole lot. So you could just see I was doing the smallest room in these houses. So our house has the front door, and then you have like a little hallway which is a box, and then another door that leads into like the living dining room area. And it's really, in essence, it's probably about like 4 sim squares big, but I couldn't get it to work how I wanted it to work. I just felt like the Sims blocks squares take up far too much room, so I decided to just make them 2 squares, and it has like the exact same feel. It's like a little hallway that leads into the house and to the outside. So the first house that I'm working on, I would actually really love if the decor in the house where I live looked like this. It would be super nice. It's more of a modern, cleaner type room. That's kind of like my go-to, just like blacks, whites, greys. I just absolutely love it. So that's the theme or style of this first room, and I don't know if I've said it already, but all of these houses, our house has 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 kitchen, and then it's kind of like a large living / dining room area, which is what the big space downstairs is. Now, some of these houses I have put in kind of like a bigger archway leading from the kitchen into like the living dining room area, but that's probably like one of the biggest kind of like changes, if you will, that I've done to I think it's 2 of these houses have bigger archways leading from the kitchen to the living dining room, but in our house we literally just have the cutout kind of like of the doorway from the kitchen leading to the living dining room. I hope that this makes sense. I'm trying my hardest to explain it as best as I can. So like I was saying, this first house is more modern, crisp and clean, kind of like, I don't want to say posh family, but the room that I was just doing was a child / younger teen room, I was thinking, because it's a little bit messier, but it's pinks and stuff, so I don't know, it could be girl, could be boy, it doesn't really matter. I never really set out a gender for the rooms that I do, I just kind of do them, and yeah, I like how that one looked. And then the room that I was just doing was the parents' room, which I really wanted like golds and whites and kind of just really crisp and clean. And then this room that I'm doing, I had the idea of it being like specifically a teenager's room or a young adult's room, so it's kind of darker in style to the others. Maybe, I don't really want to say a little bit moody, but I loved what I used that light for. It's kind of like Beauty Guru lights, and then I just filled the inside of it with pictures and stuff like that, and I just really like how it ended up looking, and I thought it was a great use of that light and stuff. Some of the rooms have, or no, this room has the bookshelf in it, and then downstairs also has a bookshelf. If you were going to use any of these houses like playable, everything works in the houses like how they should do, this, that and the other. And if you wanted to download this, I always use the hashtag TigerJelly if you guys are interested. I always use it in the description, so that's how you can find any of my builds. All of these houses have bathrooms. I just haven't really recorded doing them because I had a bit of trouble with the Sims being able to actually use them, but I have sim tested each bathroom now, all 4, and the Sims can use the shower, toilet and sink in all of them, so they should be fine. Screenshots, I have a couple of screenshots of different bathrooms, but I don't have a screenshot of every single bathroom because I feel like with small rooms in the Sims it's kind of hard to screenshot them properly. So I think some builds I might do like walk around builds with, if that's something you guys are interested in, so that you can get like a better look, better feel of the place rather than because screenshots are like great. I love taking screenshots in Sims especially, and pretty much any other game. So screenshots are great. I'll probably there is screenshots at the end of this, but I think some builds I might try and do like walk around tours as well, like I done a walk around tour with a build that I forgot that I built. So this house at the moment, I'm just doing the bedroom, and the theme for this one, you guys could probably see a little bit ago in the video, that it kind of just went to this next house and it was kind of already pretty much fully furnished, the downstairs. And my theme idea for this house was somebody who has a lot of kind of hobbies like gardening, they like that kind of stuff. So the downstairs of this house is very browns, greens, loads of plants everywhere, and the garden that I do for this one is really kind of like luscious, and there's loads of flowers. It's very green, very like kind of, I don't know, just garden-esque, if you will. And so the upstairs to this house, I've utilized all 3 rooms again. One of the smallest room I have done as a kind of utility room, so it's got the washer and the dryer and stuff like that. It has the main bedroom for whoever lives here, and then it has the second bedroom, which has a small bed in it. I was thinking for like if anybody comes over to stay, or if their grandkid comes over to stay, or if their child comes over to stay, or a friend or anything like that, they have somewhere to sleep. But the second biggest room is pretty much primarily a craft room, so I put in some craft stations and the weatherboard and stuff like that, and I've tried to make the themes for the houses go throughout. And then moving on now to the third house. Now this house I decided I was going to do kind of like a big family house, if you will. The first house has like 2 children, and then the parents, so that's like 4 or one parent, however you want to do it. But this house, as I was building it, I was thinking it was going to have 3 children and then 2 parents. So there is a I call it a twin room. It could not be a twin room, it could just be 2 children that share a bedroom. But one of the rooms to this house, it's got 2 children's beds in it, 2 desks and stuff like that. Then it's got a smaller room, which I done kind of like a grungy, a dark style, maybe like a young middle teenager type thing. And then it's got the parents' bedroom. So again, we just have the same size kitchen. This was one of the houses that I made the archway leading from the kitchen to the dining living room area a lot bigger. So you have the big kind of like dining table, and then you have the living area, and then towards the other side of the room where the window is, I decided to put in a bookshelf and kind of like a kids play sit area, if you will. I apologize if you guys can hear my dogs, they keep getting up and down the bed. And yeah, so I decided to put in a bookshelf and I like these little like puffy seat things, and I just thought they were really cool. It adds a bit of colour to this house because I make them the nice bright colours, and it's kind of just like a little kids area, which I think is pretty cool and a good thing to add to the house that is like a family orientated one that I had in mind. I tried to spam down as many kind of toys, sorry that was my dog if you heard that, just to kind of like enhance the fact that it is a child's like play area type thing and stuff. So the stairs for this house, I don't know what it is, but sometimes with the builds that I do for Sims, like I will start to put down walls and the game will just completely glitch out and it will be like, no, sorry, you can't it will put the wall down, but it will be as if the wall is completely invisible, and I'll have to like quit the game and then load the game back up for it to take effect. And that's what happened with the stairs to this house. And I do put in kind of like an extra tiny little wall that you'll probably see in the screenshots and stuff like that. And yeah, but some of the stairs have like a wall, kind of like they're filled in, but the stairs to our house that I live in like real life, the underneath of the stairs is like not there. At the moment we have like a shelf and stuff there. So for the first house I made it kind of like a little doggy area where the dog sleeps and stuff, and I thought that was super cute. So this room here is the kind of like teenagers darker theme room, if you will, that I was speaking about a minute ago. And you can just see next to this room is the twin room that I'm calling it. It's their room, which I have already completely done because this video is already pretty long. I've done a lot of the decorating off camera just because I feel like it was a pretty ambitious build for me. The build itself isn't necessarily anything fantastic, it's just square rooms and stuff like that, so that's not like massively good, but the whole like decorating and stuff is really where I get carried away with the Sims and stuff, especially using like debug menu and stuff like that, and trying to come up with ideas and themes for the houses to make them completely different, because no one's house is exactly the same, and that's really what I wanted. I really wanted each of these houses to have completely different like themes and ideas and stuff. So this room here is just the parents' bedroom. I went with a more plain kind of like, they've got 3 kids, when they go to bed they just want to like chill out, have a nice clean room to relax in, and I put in a little chair. Sometimes I forget, I feel like in the first house I could have put like a little chair with the bookcase and that is downstairs, because that looks a little bit bare, if you will. So I feel like I could have put a bookcase, I feel like I could have put a chair or something there. So now I'm moving on to the gardens for all of the houses, and again all of the gardens for them I've tried to match them to the houses. So this house is the kind of like gardener's house, so I really put in loads of plants, trees and like textured grass, all that kind of good stuff, to elaborate on the fact that it's a gardener's house and they do like their plants and stuff. I have done the last house. It is fully decorated. It is a lot plainer than the other houses, because my idea for the last house was just like, it was an older person's house, just like kind of an older style. You guys will see in the screenshots and everything like that. I didn't know what to do with the last house. I had the idea of making it kind of like a shared house with some teenagers or university students or stuff like that, and having loads of music items there. And then I really actually didn't like that idea because I couldn't get it to work how I wanted it to. So then I decided to just kind of go a bit plain, go a bit boring, if you will, and do a sort of like older person style house. So it's very muted, that one, and honestly it's not my favorite house, but I don't really know what else to do, seeing as they all have different themes, which I'm happy about. So this house here is just like the family house. I wanted to put in some trees and stuff, and then I ended up just putting in a bunch of rocks and that, which I think it pretties up the outside of the houses. Kind of like where I live, our front door, we have like a little garden, and then you have like a public path that runs down. And then the back garden, you have the back garden, and our back gate leads into a set of garages where obviously people keep their cars and stuff. So that's how like our houses look. So I've tried to recreate it as much as possible with obviously the front garden and the back garden. And the back garden is probably a little bit larger than the front, but I'm not sure exactly whether I scaled those right in The Sims. I thought I would put in kind of like a little pond into the family house garden, but I soon changed it out because I knew I wanted a swing seat in the family house garden. So I ended up putting the kind of like little pool, sorry, it's not a pool, it's like a little fountain. I ended up putting the little fountain inside the kind of like modern house. Each garden has completely different kind of like themes to each other, which I really love. This one at the moment that I'm doing is the kind of like gardener's house, and I absolutely love how it turned out. It's very bushy, loads of trees. I put in like a little fire pot, and I love those like hanging lights. I'd like to use them like inside the houses, but I'm not sure how they would look with the poles and that they're attached to. I feel like I couldn't make the poles blend in with anything like inside the houses. So put in a fire pit and stuff like that, and I decided to just use these kind of, I don't know whether to call them cobblestone, the cobblestone kind of like effect in the terrain thing. I don't know, it's just kind of like stones and grass, and I thought that it suited this house really well. So moving to the more modern house, I really like the idea of having things at the bottom of the pool, and so that's the first time I tried something like that out, and I really liked the look of it. Now this garden I decided to do as kind of like plain and crisp as possible, so I just put in some shaped trees, a little bench, and a small table. It's just kind of like plain just because it is the more modern and kind of like clean cut house. I don't know any other words, I swear. I just keep saying modern and stuff like that, and I think you guys know what I'm trying to get out with it. So it's just very neat, tidy, easy to clean, all that kind of good stuff. So as always, there are some screenshots coming up. I've took far too many of them, so there are quite a few. I love the screenshots, so I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I hope some of you choose to download this and play in some of the houses, all the houses, change them up, do whatever. But this is my British terraced house build, and it is pretty much as close as I possibly can get to the row of houses and the layout of the house that I live in. So thank you all so much for watching this video. Hit the like button, leave comments down below. Please don't forget to subscribe if you are new, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care, bye!